Why does change seem so hard that even after repeated attempts, we still find ourselves doing the same thing we did before and not making any progress? It's a common belief that change is really hard and that you have to go through a lot of pain to be successful. Well, that's actually the very belief that holds people back from achieving their goals. Isn't it interesting that all unsuccessful people share this same belief? This is quite simple. When we perceive change as difficult, we naturally shy away from it because we are inherently programmed for comfort. Our subconscious mind is programmed to avoid pain and suffering and gravitate towards pleasure. So, until change becomes enjoyable and effortless, it is natural for us to struggle to sustain and quickly revert to our old habits. Our question should now be reframed to ask, when is change difficult and when is it easy and enjoyable? Is change always hard? Not at all. It all depends on your perspective and how you approach it. As long as you consistently try to change using the same old methods, the results will remain as difficult as before. So, let's explore how physics can help us understand this better. Imagine a car traveling at 100 km per hour, approaching a relatively sharp turn. It wants to make the turn without slowing down. How difficult and dangerous is it for the car to turn or change direction? The car would experience a significant amount of stress and strain, and it could even skid off the road. Even the car were to attempt the same maneuver 1,000 more times at the same speed, it would face the same challenges and risks. Now, another car approaches the same corner at the same speed, but with one difference: it slows down before turning. So, how does it turn? It takes the corner much more smoothly, with less effort, and continues on its way. The key is that you can't keep your foot on the gas pedal and change direction at a speed at the same time. This law of physics states that every object that is moving with a constant speed in a straight line tends to maintain this state and does not want to change it unless an external force compels it. How does this law relate to how we humans change? Well, we all do things out of habit. The more we do these things, the faster we can do them the next time, which means we think less about doing them and just do them automatically. This is similar to how the car in our example speeds up. We reach a point where we realize our habits are wrong and we need to adopt different actions. It is like reaching a curve in the road and needing to change direction. The crucial question is how we navigate this curve. If we try to make a sudden, drastic change at the same speed, it won't work. We'll feel immense pressure. Instead of rushing to perform the correct action, we can consciously slow down and perform our previous wrong habits with a delay and at a lower intensity. This is like taking our foot off the gas pedal and even applying the brakes. By doing this consciously for a while, it's like reducing our speed when approaching a turn, representing the change we want to make. Now, we can perform the correct action we want with less pressure and much more ease, and internalize it through sufficient repetition. In essence, we first need to slow down the wrong habit and then replace it with the appropriate new action. Another crucial point is the interconnectedness of our actions and beliefs. Similar actions and beliefs form a cohesive network in our minds. And it's not just about changing a single wrong action in isolation. Rather, there are underlying false beliefs and attitudes that support that wrong action. And these two need to be identified and addressed. Let's say we want to change the bad habit of being lazy and waking up late. As we discussed earlier, we can't just decide to wake up early and energized every day and get on with our work. This is because when we are used to waking up late, it is very difficult and stressful, just like taking a turn at high speed. The first step is to slow down the process of our bad habits. This means taking the time to think about it. For example, what are the drawbacks of waking up late for me? What greater joys can I experience if I wake up early instead of sleeping in? How much sleep does my body really need? Am I weakening my body by sleeping too much? And so on. Previously, we used to do it automatically without thinking. But now that we are considering how wrong it is, we are less likely to do it quickly or strongly. Now, the question is that all there is to it? No. The habit of waking up late can be fueled by other factors as well, such as lack of motivation and goals. When we don't have a reason to get out of bed in the morning, we are less likely to do so. An unhealthy lifestyle. If we have weakened our bodies with poor diet and exercise habits, it is natural to have low energy and want to sleep more. Unresolved issues and unfinished tasks. When our minds are cluttered with worries and to-dos, it can drain our energy and make it difficult to wake up feeling refreshed. A belief that our efforts are futile. If we believe that our hard work won't amount to anything because we think we live in a world without justice, we are less likely to feel motivated to get out of bed in the morning. Procrastination isn't just about being lazy. It's often tied to deeper issues. And trying to fix it without addressing those roots is like trying to pull up a weed without getting the whole thing. Those underlying beliefs and bad habits are like the stubborn roots that keep the weed coming back. To effectively and smoothly change our ways, we need to patiently reduce both the frequency of the wrong action and the underlying beliefs that feed it. Every wrong action and habit is formed from a set of faulty beliefs. When we become aware of those beliefs and weaken them, we can much more easily replace our bad habits with positive actions. First, we need to be aware of what our false beliefs and attitudes are that are reinforcing that wrong action. Then we need to consciously and deliberately be very careful that those things don't control us. It's like being careful not to press the gas pedal before or while turning. Now consider these two examples. Imagine someone decides abruptly, without any prior preparation, to wake up early the next morning. This person has a habit of oversleeping and holds several beliefs and attitudes that support this habit. Another person takes a different approach. They first thoroughly analyze their habit of oversleeping, becoming fully aware of their actions. For example, they realize, through gaining knowledge, that little by little efforts ultimately have effective results, and that our world is completely fair with everyone. On the other hand, there are much greater pleasures than sleeping a lot that can be enjoyed by reducing sleep time. Which individual do you think will find it easier to change their bad habits? The one who makes a sudden decision without preparation, or the one who consciously addresses the underlying beliefs and attitudes associated with the habits. All change happens easily and quickly if we sever our connection with whatever opposes what we want to embody within ourselves. It's like a balloon that can fly if it is light enough, but with too much weight, flying becomes incredibly difficult or even impossible. Every wrong action we do stems from flawed thinking and beliefs within ourselves. To change that wrong action, we must identify its underlying roots and then witness how much easier it becomes to change once we minimize those flawed beliefs. For someone who believes that the world is inherently unfair and that no matter how hard you try, you will still be wronged, it is incredibly difficult to wake up early in the morning with enthusiasm and energy to pursue their goals. However, someone who believes that the world is a reflection of ourselves will naturally rise early and go after their goals with all their might, because they know they will soon see the positive reflection of this action in the circumstances and events around them.